True fans live for their team. For those true U of A fans, there is Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Greg Hansen. Greg, as we speak, the Pac-12 meetings are going on up in Phoenix. The big story, I think, anytime there are Pac-12 meetings, at least lately, is Larry Scott. The commissioner of the league, he has what I think is a long checklist of things he must do, and you wonder if the member schools are getting restless.
You know, Saturday Night Live could do a great skit on Larry Scott because he just seems to do the wrong thing or appear the wrong way.
Right. Well, now, so much of it to me is the main issues on his plate right now are cut a deal with DirecTV so people can get the Pac-12 networks. Talk about start times, at least pay some lip service to the fact that, out here especially, there are basketball games starting at 8:30 at night. And then third, and this is, I think, a little bit minor, is show that kind of you're in charge and that it's not TV dictating everything, though we both know that's exactly what happens.
Those 3 points you made are perfect. Number one, he cannot do anything about the start times. He cannot, because ESPN is the co-commissioner of this league.
Right.
It pays all the money, $20 million a year per school.
Right.
So they're not backing off those starting times. That's why they gave them the money.
Right, and 10 years ago, the one knock on the Pac-10 before it was the Pac-12, when it was the Pac-10 was they're never on ESPN. Now they're on ESPN all the dang time, and people still complain.
Yeah. That's not changing ever.
Right.
But what you said, it's his appearance, and that he willingly shows up every week at a press box near you, and the first question is about DirecTV.
Right.
How many times do you have to get punched in the gut?
Right, I know. And he'll sit, if it's a basketball game, he sits mid-court. If it's a football game, he's in a luxury box or in 50-yard lines.
And he flies in a private jet and leaves at halftime.
Right, and it's one of those things that I'm sure that this is just the nature of college athletics. I'm certain of it, Greg. I think that he is more the rule than the exception when it comes to college athletics. On the other hand, it's almost like a president when you're at war. Follow me here. You need to give the impression that you are working night and day to fix something. Larry Scott does not, to me, give the impression that he's working to fix the DirecTV situation.
He needs to do the fireside chats that FDR did, in a sense.
Right.
But he doesn't do that.
Right.
And he speaks in language that I don't follow. I didn't go to an Ivy League school like he did.
Right.
But he loses me half the time.
Right. Utah State, come on. It's the Harvard of the Wasatch.
I passed at Utah State.
But you're right, and that's what's so strange is I think as a visionary, if we can use that word, I think he kind of ticks all the boxes. I mean, yeah, it's smart to try to go into Asia. It's smart to try to play these games overseas. It's smart to try to get some sort of a foothold in China. I think that that's great, but if your hometown schools can't watch football games, that is a larger priority.
And now they've messed up the Pac-12 network because they don't put everything on all the channels anymore. Right. So you're stuck watching Washington State, Oregon State baseball games in the rain.
Right. The U of A baseball games on TV, everybody goes to try to watch it, and it's
not on
gymnastics.
Yeah.
To me, it comes down to this. Larry Scott has allowed a minor, lowercase m, minor issue become the defining issue of his term as the Pac-12 commissioner. So DirecTV, he could have handled this 4 years ago. Yeah. He could have conceded a little bit of money. I know that, and he would not have gotten his way, and the Pac-12 would have lost that deal. But this minor thing is now the one thing everybody talks about.
The one time I asked him about DirecTV, being the 400th person to do so in this league, he looked at me like I was this tall, and he said, "Do you realize it took the NFL 8 years to get Time Warner?" And I said, no.
But the NFL's not regional. I mean, here's the problem. When you're a regional network competing against leagues that have their own league networks, I mean, if you live in Los Angeles, let's say, and get a certain cable system, you cannot get the Pac-12 network, but you can get the Big Ten network, you can get the SEC network. There, for a while, Greg, you could get the Mountain, and you couldn't get the Pac-12 network. And look, I mean, we're smart, and for work reasons, we both have Dish. We both switched to Dish.
Yeah, we did.
On the other hand, if they were to announce tomorrow that DirecTV was back in the fold, you'd go back to DirecTV,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, I'm Ryan Finley. We'll see you next time.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.